Breaking news. You're looking at new video showing a big house fire on North Captiva. Look at all that smoke billowing up into the air as crews work to put it out. Thank you for counting on Gulf Coast News. I'm Megan Miller.
And I'm Alex Howard. That fire happened just before 12:30 this afternoon along Rum Road and Cutlass Drive. Upper Captiva Fire says the fire was a horrific scene when they arrived. Gulf Coast News will keep you updated. And more breaking news. One of the suspects involved in a recent arson arrest in Cape Coral is now facing criminal mischief charges. Cape Coral police arrested 16-year-old Preston Witten and 15-year-old Chrysalyn McLenithan last month for allegedly setting a number of utilities at the Pelican baseball complex on fire. Witten is one now facing criminal mischief. Now, the damages included the restrooms, cabinets, the floors, walls, allegedly causing over $1,000 in damage. Cape Coral police tell us Witten is involved in several other cases beyond just this arson case.
New at 3, you're looking at new videos showing drivers illegally passing school buses throughout Lee County. And this is 1 month after enforcement of violations started after these new cameras were installed on school buses. The Lee County School District says 3,158 drivers have been cited in the past month for illegally passing school buses. This is a look at some of the hot spots where people are getting a lot of violations. Gulf Coast News reporter Kennedy Mason is live in Lee County sharing more about these new numbers.
I'm here along Hanson Street in Fort Myers. It's a stretch of road that has become one of the biggest trouble spots in Lee County for drivers not stopping for school bus stop arms. We've seen a few school buses pass through here, and so far drivers have stopped for those stop arms. The Lee County School District says this is happening far too often, though. As of today, more than 4,000 citations have already been issued. Take a look at this video shared by the school district. You can see drivers flying past a school bus, stop arm out, children potentially stepping off. Last month, the district began mailing out $225 tickets, and so far, many drivers still aren't getting the message. And some roads are seeing more violations than others. Right here on Hanson Street, 112 drivers have been cited. The 200 block of State Road 82, 83 citations. Colonial Boulevard, Pontella Road, and US 41, each with around 60 drivers ticketed. More than half of these violations are happening in the afternoon when kids are heading home.
My child doesn't ride the bus, but we see it every day, and it's something that will make people do what they're supposed to do. So I think it's wonderful.
Hanson Street, real close to Fowler. One, there's a lot of industrial, so there could be a lot of truck traffic there. And two, that is kind of a cut through if you're trying to make your way between some of our major north-south streets.
The school district says they make $160 from citations, but some of that goes to the Lee County Sheriff's Office and some to bus patrol. Now, the good news is that 90% of drivers who get those citations never get a second one. I'm live in Fort Myers. Kennedy Mason, Gulf Coast News.
Collier County deputies arrested a man who they say stole a car in Naples and led them on a chase that ended on Alligator Alley. Deputies say Dylan Reynolds stole a car from the racetrack along US 41 near Shadow Lawn Drive. Deputies say the alleged owner was tracking the car's movements through their phone since it was left in the car. The sheriff's office says the car was going southbound on Goodlet Frank Road. After FHP got involved, deputies and troopers say Reynolds was pulled over just after the Alligator Alley toll plaza and threw the car keys into some grass nearby. He's now facing charges.
Charlotte County Commissioners voted today to move forward on increasing utility rates. Commissioners voted today for people to start paying 3.5% more for their water starting on October 1st. Now, this is roughly $4 more. Commissioners say connection fees will also go up by 33% for developers. Well, new at 3, Charlotte County commissioners decided today to look at the possibility of doing a study to determine what it would take to enclose the gun range at the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office. Residents are reportedly complaining about the noise in nearby neighborhoods in the county. Our Gulf Coast News reporter Giacobbi Tomlinson is live from Charlotte County about the next steps to make enclosing that facility a reality. Gina?
There's about 600 houses here in the Waterford Estates community, and we talked to some neighbors who say the sound of gunfire doesn't bother them. But we talked to others who say it literally shakes their homes. If you look at the trees here, the CCSO gun range is about 50 yards beyond them. The neighbor who lives here says when deputies are training, it sounds like a war zone. County commissioners say sound tests show noise levels are within legal safety limits, but today they acknowledge that doesn't mean it's livable. Commissioners are now asking the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office to explore options like building a sound wall, enclosing parts of the range, or moving the long gun training to another facility. Neighbors say it's not so much the pistols deputies are training with, but it's the long guns firing off that really cause the most ruckus. They say the noise happens weekly, multiple times a day, and it's a sound they can hear inside their house with the doors and windows shut, they tell me. One neighbor says they were able to get it on video.
We bought in October of 2023, and it was not disclosed to us. Nothing. So we woke up the next morning after buying the house to a war zone. Literally.
The battle between these neighbors and the sheriff's office has been going on for years. We reached out to the sheriff's office about potential solutions, and we're going to let you know when we hear back from them. I'm live from the Waterford Estates community. Gina Tomlinson, Gulf Coast News.
An anonymous threat interrupted the school day for students at Bishop Verot High School in Fort Myers. Deputies swarmed the school this morning. We brought you this as breaking news. We saw one deputy using under-vehicle inspection mirrors. The high school said it went into a lockdown as the sheriff's office looked into this threat, but they investigated and found that threat was not credible.
Lee County deputies now say the man accused of killing his friend on Fort Myers Beach admitted to committing the crime. New documents say Carlos Gonzalez waited 10 minutes before calling 911 for help. A report shows deputies found a shell casing behind a wall about 24 feet away from the victim's body, suggesting significant distance between them when the shot was fired. Gonzalez is expected back in court tomorrow.
Fort Myers police arrested 2 people accused of stealing a backpack with $10,000 inside. FMPD says Felipe de Armas Silas and Leonzetti Obregon stole the bag that was found on a sidewalk full of cash. The theft happened on Friday along Edwards Drive between Hendry and Jackson Streets. The victim told police they recently sold a car, which is why they had so much cash on them. They set down the bag and someone took it.
Reducing or even eliminating property taxes is expected to take center stage as Florida lawmakers are in Tallahassee for the 2026 legislative session. This is expected to be the most discussed bill that will ultimately go before voters to approve. Governor Ron DeSantis wants to completely eliminate property taxes in the state of Florida. State Representative Mike Giacobbi of Cape Coral says that's not practical.
The governor's talking about completely eliminating them. I don't think that that's going to be really practical. What my concern would be is that a lot of local governments will start creating these different fees and tacking on different fees to different services, and that could possibly be a lot worse.
City and county leaders argue property tax revenue goes to police and fire services, and those can't be cut.
Florida Congressman Randy Fine introduced a bill to make Greenland the 51st state of the United States. According to Fine's office, the Greenland Annexation and Statehood Act would allow the president to take whatever steps necessary to annex or acquire Greenland. The bill also requires a full report to be sent to Congress. This is a look at the distance between the countries. Greenland's leader says they would prefer Denmark and not to be owned by the United States.
Firefighters saved a home from burning down after a pickup caught fire this morning in San Carlos Park. This truck burned in a driveway and was close to a home. The fire happened along Palm Crest Lane. Fortunately, no one was hurt.
Tomorrow is the last day on the job for the Lee County Supervisor of Elections, Tommy Doyle. Doyle announced his retirement back in November. Doyle has been the Supervisor of Elections since 2016 and was re-elected back in 2020 and 2024. Doyle put out a statement back in November saying it's been an honor and privilege to serve Lee County and that he looks forward to the next chapter of his life. At Gulf Coast News at 5 p.m., you're going to hear an exclusive interview from Tommy Doyle on his retirement.
Well, you're looking at new video after a rollover crash in Hialeah caused a car to catch fire at a gas station. This happened last week. The driver reportedly lost control of their vehicle and crashed into the gas station. The car landed on its side after hitting a pump and overturning. Officials say the driver suffered only minor injuries. Police are investigating the crash.
Could transgender athletes be banned from playing on certain sports teams? The hearing the Supreme Court is considering that could reshape sports ahead at 3:30.
And teaching kids essential financial skills is critical to becoming successful later in life. Next at 3, how learning these skills can help further their financial future.